Hello and welcome back to the another video on the Python setup lecture series. In the previous video we saw how to download and install VS Code, and in this video we are going to be looking at Sublime Text, which is another code editor which is simple and fast to use. So similarly as we did for VS Code, we are going to do for Sublime Text. So we will go to Google and type Sublime Text and click enter. So this is the search result that we have. So click on the first one and scroll down. As you can see, this is how the Sublime Text UI looks like. And once you go down, you will have what's new. That is the newest features of Sublime Text. So we have GPU rendering, Apple Silicon and Linux, ARM64. So these are the new platforms in which you can run, and multi-select, content aware, autocomplete. So these are very useful stuff that are newly being introduced in Sublime Text. And if you scroll back up, as you can see, there are two different versions. There is dark and there's light. So once you click on download for Windows button right here, and if you go down, you can see try Sublime Merge, which is another platform for people who are working with Git. So we don't need that right now. And down, as you can see, Sublime Text build is downloaded, which is my setup for Sublime Text. I will click this and my setup has begun. So I will give yes. And first thing that we'll be doing is select where we need it. So C program files, Sublime, and yeah, looks good. So I'll go with that and I'll click next and yes, install. And so this is very simple and easy, and the setup is complete. So I'll finish, and once I finish, I will go open my Sublime Text. Yeah, my Sublime Text 3, I'll open it. Yeah, my Sublime Text is opened, and I will make this bigger. So this is how the UI looks like. Okay, so inside on the left you can see folders. So this is where you can create your project and keep it. So how to create a project is go to this project, right? There's open project, there's switch project and everything. So once you give open project, you can go to a file, right? You can go to your file browser, and once you have already created an empty folder here, once you click on that folder, this will open it as a project, which means you can have multiple files inside the same project that are interlinked to each other. So that is what you call it as a project. Or you can have single files that you can go to file, and when you click new file, you'll have a new file right here, right? So one thing that we need to understand is Sublime Text is not designed especially for Python. So for it to recognize Python and make our code look better and stuff, we need to make sure that we will install certain extensions that will help us. So we need to understand how to run any file in Python, right? So for that we'll need a file. So in the previous program we had in the previous video we had done a hello world program for Python. So we will open that. So we'll go to file, open file, and inside my code files, Python programs, vir programs, I have hello world. I'll open this, and as you can see, hello world.py is there and print hello world is there. Now this is very simple to do. So if you have a new file, just write the print open brackets hello world, and once you do that, you go to file, you go to save as, and you write your file name, right? So mine's dummy.py. So once I do that, it's hello world. So I'll save this, and now dummy.py is also my hello world. Hello world is also my hello world. So right, so I'll use this hello world right now. So I'll close this, and once I've written my code, right? So what I do is there's a shortcut for running my code, that is Control B. So once I click Control B, as you can see below, the output will be displayed. That is, Control B is a shortcut for running your file. And because it's a Python file, Sublime Text automatically understands what a Python file is, and it'll take that particular interpreter and run this file. So that is the beauty of Sublime Text. And if you want to install any packages inside this Python thing, so what you do is, so you click on Control Shift and P. So once you do that, you will be able to open this particular search bar, and it'll show all the features that are available inside Sublime Text. So you can call these features, not a problem. And so what I really want is, I want package control, right? So I'll click package. So inside package control, I have all these options, and I have this package called install package. So once I click that, it will load all the packages that Sublime Text has available for me, right? So these are the set of all the packages that are there. This is very similar to a plugin, or let's say an extension, what we saw in VS Code, right? So yeah, so for example, let us take pretty JSON. So JSON is a type of file that has a key value pairs, and if I install pretty JSON, all my JSON files would be properly formatted and I can view them better, right? So the same goes with pretty YAML. YAML is a type of file that again has key value pairs, something like that. So these are a lot of things that you can do. And HTML, CSS, JS, actually we're not doing that right now, but this is one package that formats everything, right? So that is there. So once I bring my mouse over to this part of the code editor, I will scroll up and down so that I can customize the size of my code right here, right? So that is one thing that you can do. And inside file, you have the save option, or you can press Control S to save. And if you want to duplicate something, you can use Control Shift D. For example, if I want to duplicate this whole line, so I will select this whole line, and I'll press Control Shift D, and it will be, duplicated here. So these are some of the easy ways in which you can navigate around Sublime Text easily, which makes your coding much faster. And Control S to save again. So that's it for today's video on Sublime Text. See you in the next video. Thank you.